So, could you please raise your hand if you use social networks or have used them before? More and more people use social networks. It often seems that they've become just a way to share pictures or post nonsense, but many people don't realize that they've become something a lot more important. The question, how do social networks influence a society, has gained more and more awareness over the past as more and more people start to use social networks. 47% of Americans use social networks, and that figure has increased by 21% over the past 3 years. Now, I care to talk about this topic because I attend an international school. We're in it right now, and I use social networks to talk to my friends all over the planet. Now, since social networks exist, people have been debating the advantages and disadvantages. Proponents say that social networks help to communicate with friends and family and make access to education easier. And opponents say that they prevent face-to-face communication and distract students and adults. All of these arguments are valid, but social networks have become something just so much bigger than that. Many wars are caused by hatred for their nations. Only one example is the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. Now, social networks can help to prevent this. Think about it. You can simply go online today, talk to someone from Asia, Russia, Africa. You can talk to them about their favorite color if you want. But more importantly, you can talk to them about their hopes, their worries, and their beliefs. And something like that really helps you to understand other people. Now, it's not only that social networks help us to understand each other, they also help us to gather for one cause. Let me give you one example. There was a young mother. She lived in the United States of America, and her child was dying because it needed a kidney transplant. And she couldn't afford that kidney transplant. And she posted a video on Facebook, and people from all over the world started donating money. A lot of you have children. Imagine your child is dying, and people that you don't know at all start donating money for that child. So in the end, she had enough money, and the child was saved. And I think that is just an example where how social networks can show that there's something good in every human. And it was not only that she raised enough money, it was also that she even found a kidney donor via her Facebook page. So, social networks can help us to understand each other and to come together and work for one cause. But they've not only done that, they've also changed our media world. 50% of social network users access breaking news over their social networks. And 27.8% of people worldwide use social networks as their first source of news, making it more popular than radio. Now, that is really, really great because even 60% of professionals use social networks. Now, but it's not only the amount of information, or that we can use it, and the amount of people that use it, it's also the range of information. Big companies are often limited, or news companies are often limited. They have limited manpower, and they can only provide us with the top news because they need to make profit. Twitter users don't have to worry about that. They can post about whatever they want, and they can post about what happened, because it's you or me, and we can use Twitter. And it's not only the amount of information, it's also the speed of publication. Twitter users posted about the theater shooting in Aurora, USA, before news and police even arrived at the scene. Now, critics argue that social networks can help to spread wrong information. But like I said, 60% of professional news journalists use social networks. And that's a lot of people that use it for their job, and they depend on that. Now, so social networks have changed how we access information. They've changed the amount of the amount of information that we have access to. And finally, they've changed our political landscapes. 25% of US voters below 30 in the 2008 presidential campaign in the USA accessed information about the voting online. And in 2009, as a result of that, President Obama announced that the White House was to join all social networks. Now, the government of the United States is not the only government that is present. 35 global heads of states are present on Twitter, and over 40% of global religious leaders have Twitter accounts, including the Dalai Lama and even the Pope. So social networks really help to monitor what governments do. But it's not only that. Many governments treat their citizens unfairly, and social networks can help to prevent this. And that is why autocracies like China fear social networks so much. They know that social networks give people a free place to speak, and that social networks can help to change this. Another example, the protests in Tunisia, which fueled the Arab Spring and changed the whole Arabic world, were planned over Facebook by young of-group students, and their Twitter posts motivated tens of thousands of people to go onto the street and change something because they thought that they were treated unfairly. So social networks have changed political landscape because they've become more powerful than any army. Governments can't really control them. It's really, really difficult to control them, and that's why they've become so powerful. So, concluding, you can say that social networks have changed at how we talk to each other, how we understand each other, how we access information, and how we look at governments and what we can do against them. But it's not only that. Now, I don't want you to go out of here and sign up to every social network there is. No. Social networks are like everything created by mankind. They can be used for good, they can be used for bad. And the next time you go into a social network, I want you to think about one thing. The one click that you make might be the one click that changes our planet forever. Thank you.